Welcome back to the Customer Obsession Lecture Series. In this video, we'll talk about how customers actually make buying decisions. The buying process is the steps consumers go through when buying a product or service. This process begins when customers recognize an unsatisfied need. Customers use this buying process to select a retailer, a channel, a product, or a service to satisfy their need. They encounter the retailer, maybe collect more information, and then complete the transaction. There are 4 or 5 steps in the buying process, depending on how you look at them. 1. Need recognition or awareness. 2. Information search or research. 3. Evaluation of alternatives or consideration. 4. Purchase decision or commitment. And 5. Post-purchase evaluation. Consumers might not go through all these steps, or they might not go through them in this exact order, but this is the general process. Retailers are trying to influence consumers at every step to encourage them to buy from their store. Remember, the retailer doesn't really care what product you buy. They care where you buy it. Let's go through each step. The buying process is triggered when consumers recognize they have an unsatisfied need. An unsatisfied need arises when your desired level of satisfaction differs from your present level of satisfaction. Where you'd like to be is different from where you currently are. We have 2 types of needs, utilitarian and hedonic. First is a utilitarian need. Shopping for a utilitarian need is to accomplish a specific task. You engage in utilitarian shopping because you have to accomplish something. With utilitarian needs, you need the products. They're needed for a functional purpose. It's more of a must-do rather than a want-to. Let's look at an example. Shopping for socks. If I'm shopping for socks and I don't enjoy shopping for socks, I'm likely to go into a store, see that they have a pair of white crew socks, buy them, and get out of the store. I just needed socks, and these are socks. Done. The second type of need is a hedonic need. Shopping for a hedonic need is fun. You enjoy the shopping process. If I'm shopping for socks and I enjoy the process, I might look at all these fun socks. The stripes, the polka dots, the patterns. Now thinking about you, what are some utilitarian products that you shop for on a regular basis? I think for most people, purchasing gasoline is utilitarian shopping. Very few people actually enjoy the process of stopping at a gas station. Some people don't necessarily mind stopping for gas. But no one wakes up in the morning and says, "Oh, good, yes, today I get to stop for gasoline on the way to work." No one says that. No one is excited to buy gasoline. For some people, grocery shopping is utilitarian. They do it because they have to eat. Also, necessities like toothpaste, shampoo, deodorant. You don't enjoy shopping for deodorant, but you do it because you have to. If you run out, you need more. It's not fun to shop for toothpaste or deodorant, but I want decent smelling armpits and clean teeth, so I'm going to do it. Now, what are some examples of hedonic shopping that you engage in? We said some people do grocery shopping because they have to, but there's also a group of individuals who love grocery shopping. They enjoy the process. They go to fancy grocery stores because it's fun. They enjoy all the displays. I'm that guy. Or at least I was. Before COVID, if I could go grocery shopping every single day, I would. Why? I don't know. It's just fun. I just enjoy it. For me, grocery shopping would be hedonic. For a lot of people, shopping for clothing is hedonic. They enjoy the process of finding the right items. Now, this is important. The same activity can be utilitarian or hedonic, depending on the person. Grocery shopping is a chore for some people and fun for others. Clothing shopping is a task for some and entertainment for others. Customers who are motivated by utilitarian needs will shop in a deliberate and efficient manner. Retailers need to provide adequate information and an effortless shopping experience. Think about grocery stores. Think about Harps, Kroger, Albertsons, H-E-B, Tom Thumb, maybe even Whole Foods. Think about the conventional supermarkets. When you think about these grocery stores, they're all laid out very similarly. We've got produce on one side. Oftentimes, produce is on the right-hand side of the store. Then we move into baking products, canned goods, cookies and crackers, cereals, and then the frozen section. Think about it for a second. Are most grocery stores laid out in a same or similar pattern where you shop? Overall, usually yes. Some aisles might change here and there, but overall, grocery stores are all laid out very similarly. Why is this? Well, the majority of grocery shoppers are utilitarian. They don't enjoy the process. And grocery stores know this. Grocery stores have to create an effortless shopping experience by having all stores laid out in a similar manner. You can get in, get your items, and get out. You don't have to spend time searching for which aisle something is on, because within 1 or 2 aisles, you'll know where items are located. By contrast, hedonic shoppers desire excitement, stimulation, status and power, and recreation and adventure. So, how do we engage hedonic shoppers? We need to provide stimulation, background music, visual displays, scents, demonstrations. They need more than just the basics. We also need to acknowledge their status and power. Hedonic shoppers enjoy the attention and respect given to them by sales associates. We need to make sure sales associates are trained, knowledgeable, attentive, and respectful. Some hedonic customers also enjoy adventure. They enjoy finding bargains, looking for sales, finding discounts. Think about off-price retailers. Do you enjoy shopping at Ross, TJ Maxx, or Marshall's? They might be lower priced, but for many customers, it's the adventure of finding the product. It's the hunt. It's the experience of getting that product. So, retailers need to figure out, is our target market utilitarian or hedonic? If utilitarian, provide adequate information and an effortless shopping experience. If hedonic, provide visual stimulation, demonstrations, treat them with attention and respect, and provide an adventure. If our target market is both utilitarian and hedonic, provide both. Now, here's something interesting. Most customers don't just have one type of need. You may have some utilitarian needs and some hedonic needs. The pattern of buying both premium and low-priced merchandise, or patronizing both expensive retailers and price-oriented retailers, is called cross-shopping. For example, I may enjoy shopping for my clothing and accessories at Louis Vuitton, Gucci, or Chanel. But at the same time, I engage in utilitarian shopping for necessity items. I may go to Big Lots and purchase toilet paper and paper towels. High-priced premium merchandise and low-priced merchandise, same person. This is why you can't predict shopping behavior just from someone's income. Customer needs can be stimulated in a variety of ways. Sometimes needs are stimulated by life circumstances. When COVID hit, our lives changed significantly, and our needs changed accordingly. Unfortunately, many people who enjoyed hedonic shopping moved to utilitarian shopping. They moved from in-store to online. They enjoyed the process previously, but once COVID hit, they were limited on engaging in the shopping experience. Needs can also be stimulated by advertising or emails. Think about your inbox. In one day, you might receive emails from Banana Republic, Groupon, Bath & Body Works, Gap Factory, and so many more. Needs can be stimulated by what's going on in the environment, but also the retailers themselves can create a need for us. I might not have needed a dress, but now that Banana Republic Factory sent me an email, oh well, now I might have a sudden need for purchasing a dress. Once we've established our needs, we engage in information search. We've got two sources of information. The first type is an internal source. Internal sources are information in your memory. Names, images, past experiences with different stores. The major source of internal search is past shopping experience. Internal search is from your memory. It's inside your brain. Our other type of information search is external. External sources consist of information provided by search engines, retailer sites, media, friends, or family members. External information search is outside of us, outside of our brain. What happens if you're searching for a product or engaging in shopping that you've never done before? Can you use internal search? Let me give you an example. Let's say you're married, and you and your spouse have said, all right, we're going to start a family. You've never given birth to a child before. You've basically never shopped for a child before. You might have purchased items from a registry for your friends, but you're given a list. You go in, buy your item, get out. You don't really pay much attention. But now, all of a sudden, you need to buy a crib, formula, bottles, a car seat. How do you search for information for a shopping experience you've never engaged in? Unfortunately, you cannot engage in internal search because you don't have past experience. If you don't have memory with respect to names, images, or past experiences, you can't engage in internal search. In this situation, all of your search is going to be external. Google, friends, reviews, external search process. The amount of information search undertaken depends on the value customers believe they can gain from searching versus the cost of searching. If I search for additional information, is it going to help me in my decision-making process? For retailers, the objective in this information search stage is to limit customer search to their specific store or website. Retailers don't want you to engage in a lot of search. They want to limit your search to their store. Remember, the retailer typically doesn't care what product you purchase, as long as you purchase from their store. One measure of retailer performance is the conversion rate. This is the percentage of customers who enter a store or access a website and then buy the product from that same store visit or site visit. Retailers want to make the search process smaller, shorter, and get you to make the purchase decision quickly. Once information search is complete, customers move into the next stage, evaluating alternatives. In this stage, we use what's called a multi-attribute attitude model. The multi-attribute attitude model is based on the notion that customers see a retailer, product, or channel as a collection of attributes or characteristics. From there, we decide which of those characteristics are most important to us. The best way to explain this is with an example. Let me walk you through it. Let's say I'm going to purchase a pair of shoes. I need to select 3 stores I would consider. If I'm purchasing shoes, I might realize from my information search that Neiman Marcus has a really nice shoe selection. I've also been to DSW before, so using my internal search, I'd consider DSW. And let's go with Nordstrom. I've read reviews from customers at Nordstrom. That's external information search. Next, I think about 3 benefits I look for when deciding where to purchase. For this example, let's say price is very important to me. I may not be a college student anymore, but price is still important. Availability is also important. If I'm going to a store to buy shoes, I'd like to walk out with them. I want to make sure they have the shoes available. Convenience is important too. I don't want to drive across town. I need the retailer to be convenient to my location. Now I rate each retailer on each characteristic from 1 to 5. How well does Neiman Marcus perform on price? Fair. Let's say 2. DSW on price? Excellent. 5. Nordstrom on price? Good. 3. Availability? Neiman Marcus? Good. 3. DSW? Excellent. 5. Nordstrom? Good. 3. Convenience? Neiman Marcus is convenient. Very good. DSW is pretty good. The Nordstrom isn't close to me at all, so they are poor. 1. Now I weight how important each characteristic is to me. Price, highly important. 5. Availability, very important. 4. Convenience, somewhat important. 2. Then I multiply the importance weight by each retailer's performance and sum them up. Neiman Marcus, 30. DSW, 51. Nordstrom, 29. Looking at these overall evaluations, which retailer should I choose? The one with the highest score, DSW, wins with 51. Does this mean I'm definitely going to purchase at DSW? Not necessarily. But based on this model, DSW comes out on top. And here's the thing. Do you create this whole spreadsheet every time you shop? No. But do you go through this evaluation in your head? Yes. Oftentimes people really do, just without realizing it. You think about which retailers are important, what each offers, and which benefits matter most to you. Once we've narrowed down our alternatives, we move into the purchasing phase. Customers don't always buy from the store with the highest evaluation score. Sometimes other factors come in. Retailers use various tactics to increase the chances that customers will convert their positive evaluation into purchases. First, they make it easy for customers to purchase. User-friendly websites and apps, reduce wait time in stores, open more checkout lanes, quick processing of online orders, store customer profiles so you don't have to re-enter information. If it's an easy process, you're more likely to buy than if the process is difficult. Second, retailers can provide a positive evaluation. Provide sufficient information. Get feedback. Did a sales associate tell you that you looked nice in an outfit? That the accessories you selected work well? Did you see positive reviews from other customers? If the retailer provides positive evaluation, it gives you more certainty in your purchase. Third, the retailer can reduce risk. Liberal return policy, money-back guarantee, refunds, warranties. If you know you can return it, you're more likely to buy it. If it's a no-return item with no guarantee, you're going to be uncertain and might circle back to the information search stage instead of buying. Fourth, the retailer can create a sense of urgency. Flash sales, limited assortments, buy now, hurry in, limited time only. They create urgency so you feel like if you don't buy immediately, you'll miss out. When retailers offer a 50% off sale for 2 days, they're creating urgency. Retailers engage in many or all of these 4 tactics to convert shoppers into customers. After we've made our purchase, we need to evaluate the purchase. We look at satisfaction. Satisfaction is post-consumption value. How well a store or product meets or exceeds our expectations. If we're satisfied, the product either meets or exceeds our expectations. If we're not satisfied, the product or retailer did not meet our expectations. After we make our purchase, this post-purchase evaluation becomes part of our internal information and affects store and product evaluations and future purchasing behaviors. Maybe back in step 2, we didn't have internal information to search, but now that I've purchased that baby crib, car seat, and bottles, I have internal information to rely on next time. So, what can retailers do to reduce dissatisfaction? First, build realistic customer expectations so they never let shoppers down. Are retailers trying to build realistic expectations when you walk into Walmart? What type of service expectations do you have? Typically, customers have low expectations. They might expect to have to circle the parking lot 2 or 3 times to find a parking spot that's close to the store. They might expect that their cart has one wheel that doesn't roll correctly. They might expect that not every product is fully stocked on the shelves. Walmart has built this into your experience. They've created this expectation over time. When you come in, you're not disappointed because you don't have as high expectations as you would for other stores like Neiman Marcus. Other stores want you to have higher expectations. Neiman Marcus wants customers to think they've got the highest level of customer service, knowledgeable sales associates. They have to make sure those associates are trained and knowledgeable so they don't let customers down. Second, provide information about proper use and care. If customers don't know how to properly wash or launder clothing, they can become dissatisfied. But if they're told about dry cleaning, they'll properly care for the item. Third, offer guarantees and warranties to reduce that negative feeling of risk both before and after purchase. Before purchase, make shoppers aware of the warranty. After purchase, follow up and remind them. Fourth, contact periodically to make sure customers are satisfied. Correct problems and remind them you're still available. Check in to make sure they like the products. Fix any problems and remind them they should come back. This creates a relationship between the retailer and the customer. All right, that's the buying process. I'll see you back here for the second half of this lecture series.